Okay, welcome. I want to talk you through a little game prototype I've been working on recently called Honest Dan's Danceroids. Now, this was made as part of a game jam where you're posed with 72 hours to create a game on a particular theme. So the theme I got was to create a puzzle game where you stack asteroids in order to gain virtual currency. And this was part of the Crash Jam game jam, which is run by Krasenstein, one of the many game dev streamers on the Twitch platform. So let's have a look at this. It's essentially a puzzle game set in space. It's a little bit like Tetris, but with some twists which are in line with the space theme. So, the aim of the game is to get as much points as you can, but we're referring to them as space bucks because it's a currency that you can sacrifice some of your points to upgrade things as you go further through the game. So you need to stack asteroids in rows or columns. You use these gravity fields in order to guide asteroids into your ship. You're able to control these gravity fields using an energy resource, but this is not infinite, so you need to be careful and manage that. And the idea is just to gain as much score or cash as you can. So let's have a look at the game in action. So here we can see at the bottom of the screen we have our ship, we have asteroids flying in, one at a time in this prototype at least. And we have a 6x6 grid where the asteroids will be placed. So as I said at the start, the aim of the game is to make rows and columns out of these asteroids. So they're flying down randomly. At the moment, we're not having any influence on where they're going. So if we do want to have influence, we're going to use gravity fields, and we do that through pressing anywhere in the space. It's going to give us an active gravity field. Now, how that changes things is it will orbit around that gravity field and change the direction of the asteroid. But what happened is, you can see if the asteroid makes contact with the center, it will destroy it. So that missed it there. But if we see the next one, we place it right in front of it, it will destroy the gravity field. And then it costs you money to place a new one each time. And we want to gain money, so it's a bad thing. So the idea is that you need to carefully place them in order to guide them to where you want them to go. Now what you can do, you can either carefully place a couple of them in a row and try and guide it that way, or you can try and just use one and guide it exactly where you want it to go. The downside is the more you hold down to move these, it depletes this energy resource that you can see we've got at the top of the screen. So this next one I'm going to hold until we run out, so you can see that it's not an infinite resource and that it is something that you need to be careful with. So I'm going to run out in a moment, and you'll see I lose control of it when I do, and I need to let it recharge again. So it's up to you how you use these gravity fields. In this basic prototype, there's only one type of gravity field. I was thinking of adding ones of different diameters, of different strengths. And also, at the moment, there's only 1x1 asteroids, which make it a slightly easier puzzle to work out. Now, what's interesting is we can also rotate our ship as we fly through space. So if I wanted, I could turn everything that way. And then that changes our puzzle kind of game space completely. Now, if you've played Tetris, you would have come across a situation where, due to the different size shapes, sometimes you're left with a gap in the middle of your puzzle, which stops you getting a complete row or column. So that's what is solved by having this this rotating ship mechanic. It allows you to shuffle up the game board in order to fill those holes, perhaps, and it opens up the possibility of making rows and columns that you wouldn't have been able to on a single board. Now, I was looking at having different size asteroids as well. So at the moment, it's just 1x1 little asteroids that come into the game board. But if you think of Tetris shapes, or even just a 2x2 square or a 3x3 square, then that is going to change the dynamic of where you place them. You'll also notice that we have different numbers on these pipes of different widths. So I've already implemented a mechanic where we have these different shaped pipes which can fit in bigger asteroids. I just didn't get around to adding the different shaped asteroids or the different size asteroids yet. So that adds the mechanic of you're able to customize your ship through placing these pipes in different places. So if we had a large asteroid, say this was a 2x2 asteroid, and we tried placing it here, it wouldn't go through because we've only got single pipes. So you'd have to spend some of this money that you're earning in order to customize your ship, or you'd have to make sure you rotate to a side that can receive the larger asteroids. But then as a result, that messes up the board that you've been building up. So that's one way of thinking of spending money. The second way is upgrade or to earn more of these energy shields. You could also make maybe your energy more efficient, so you can use these and control them for longer without running out. So there's plenty of different ways that we could add a bit more gameplay to this. It's in a very early state at the moment, but I will definitely be adding different sized asteroids and the ability to spend your money to upgrade things. But I'm happy to get any additional feedback on the game because I'm quite happy with it as a package. The visuals for me, I'm not an artist, so going for this simple Game Boy style graphics has given me a game that looks relatively polished, which is good. I'm pleased with. So I'm looking to finish it off. Whether I expand it as a proper full-on game, where there might be different game modes, I'm not too sure. But I will definitely be finishing it to a standard, which will allow you to potentially score high scores, and that it to be stored in a leader table, and that would mean that there need to be some way in which that you can die, so your ship can take damage if you try placing the wrong asteroids in the wrong slots, etc. So hopefully you've had a bit of an idea about what this is about. If you have any feedback, I'd be happy to hear it. Thanks for checking this out.